Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use up the leftovers from my black and white flower cane. So I taught this tutorial a little while ago and I'll provide a link to it in the links below, but for now we're going to use up the leftovers. So this is the only piece that I have left. The rest I've turned into these nice even sausages, which is what we're going to want. So I've got a whole bunch of them off to the side. And basically that's what I've done with all of the leftovers. I've taken all the little offcuts of cane pieces and I've just squashed them together basically. It doesn't matter if you're getting distortion, that's fine. All part of the technique, and just squished it into a nice even look. Just like that. So I'll bring over all the pieces that I have over here. So I've got some of the lace cane, some of the bullseye canes, some of the flower canes, some of the flower petal canes, and basically all of the end pieces. So you can see it, the small pieces were from our small scrap pieces and the large pieces were from our large scrap pieces. And then I had a whole bunch of just bits and bobs that I just squished together all into one piece and then rolled it out into a sausage like this. So this is what we're going to be using. And so some pieces we are going to want cut into two. So that one I'll cut into two, and I'll just move away the ones that we're not going to cut into two. So we've just got a few here that are just really large, and so I'm going to cut them up. So I'll cut that into two, that into two, that one into two. This one I'll just cut into two as well. There, so you can see that was the flower cane. This is the bad version of it, so this isn't actually what it looked like. This is an offcut, of course. And so here you can see we've got all the bits in there. So now what we want to do is we want to squish these all down to the same size, or at least around the same size. And we want to basically just pile them all together like you would a lace cane. But they've all got to be the same size. So I'll just roll it out, just like that. And then I'll just take pieces that I like, squish them together in a random format until I've used up all of my bits, basically. Okay, so I've put them all together, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just start squishing it together into a round cane. And now don't worry if these are all not the same shape and you're getting distortion on the ends, that's fine. You just want to roll it into the shape that you want, so you can pop this into a square shape. I might do that because it will make the canes look interesting. So these canes basically aren't going to look like anything in particular. It's basically just going to look like arbitrary shapes. And you can use this technique with proper canes, and you can work at it a bit and be a little bit more careful when it comes to distortion if you're using real canes, and you could come up with a really cool look. Might do that sometime, but for now this is just a leftover cane technique. So I'm going to cut this in half and show you what it looks like in the middle. So there you can see it's got a weird kind of patchwork look, and so I'm just going to square this up just using my fingers. Just like that, and it should work just fine. And I'll do the same on the other side. And there we are, it's squared up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half again. And I don't want it to look like a kaleidoscope, so I'm going to deliberately move this around so it doesn't look like a kaleidoscope. But you could do that, I mean, that looks quite nice. But it's not going to remain looking like that. I might see if I can match it up to look like a kaleidoscope. There we go, that looks better. And we'll just squish that flat into a square. And because the nature of how the canes were in the beginning, it's not going to look like a kaleidoscope as you slice through it, because each of the canes is going to warp as you go through, so you don't really want it to look exactly like a kaleidoscope, otherwise it could undermine the look of it. So you deliberately don't want to make it look like a kaleidoscope, unless you are using proper canes and they look the same the entire way through the cane. But because these ones are off-cuts, they're not going to look the same all the way through. So you can see that I'm just busy reducing it at the moment, getting it all squared up, nice. And so this can be used as a random background for your beads, and then you can put better canes like leaves and things like that over the top, and this can just create an interesting background. Okay, so now we'll cut this to see what it looks like. Okay, so it kind of looks quite nice. So there, I'll bring that up for you to see. So we've got a little bit of a kaleidoscope effect there, but it's not openly obvious, because you can see it, there are differences in it. And now this one you could leave like this, but if you find the pattern's too busy, you could just bring over your acrylic rod and roll it out, and this can help make the pattern a little bit bigger. That also helps. There you go. And so that's what it looks like now. So it's just another way that you can use up your cane parts. It's an interesting effect, but it's not going to be like the main focus of any bead, I guess. It's just going to be kind of a background piece, and then you can put some focal elements over it to draw attention to the focal elements, and this can be a nice background. So I do hope that this tutorial was helpful to you, and if it was, please do let me know, as that's always helpful to me, and do give this tutorial a like, as that's also quite helpful to me. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to this channel, as I post twice a week, and I'm sure that you won't want to miss a single video. And if you haven't already, please do visit my website, jessamatutorials.com. I have articles on there, I have places where you can send pictures, and I also have exclusive tutorials, mainly projects that aren't posted on YouTube, so be sure to check those out, as I'm sure that you will find them helpful. And as always, I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now!